Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be looking at BIDMAS, which is the order of operations, not to be confused with Christmas, which is the order in which we open presents. So hopefully by the end of this session you'll be quite confident in how to complete BIDMAS calculations so that you can then move on to working with formulas. I'll leave a link at the end of the video for the next topic, which will be formulas, but let's dive in with BIDMAS. By operations we mean addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, as well as brackets and squares of numbers. And you've got to be really careful with this. So if you see 20 plus 10 times 2 and you do that in your head, you may get the answer of 60, which unfortunately is incorrect, and that's because it's not using the order of operations. If you've got a smartphone, use the calculator and you do 20 plus 10 times 2, you'll get an answer of 40, which is indeed correct, and that's purely because your calculator on your smartphone is following BIDMAS. So what does BIDMAS actually stand for? B is brackets. So when we're doing a calculation, if you see any brackets, that's the first thing you've got to be working out. So whatever's in your brackets. And following on from the brackets, we've got the indices, which in functional skills is squared numbers or powers of. So it's not necessarily squared, it could be to the power of 4, power of 3, which we refer to as cubed, or the power of 2 there, for example, which is squared. We do also see in there the square root of something. We're not looking at the square root, we're just looking at the one on the right hand side there, which is squared units. We've then got division and multiplication, followed by addition, and then finally subtraction. So this is the order in which you should do your calculations. Now division and multiplication are grouped together, so just to kind of break the rule in a little bit, you can do those in whichever order they appear in your calculation. However, if you're unsure, just follow the proper acronym. But that also applies to addition and subtraction. You can do those in whichever order they appear in the question. As well, as long as your addition and subtraction is done after any division and multiplication, you should be absolutely fine, but always do your brackets and your indices first. So let's have a look at this question here. We've got 5 plus, and then in brackets 6 times 2 squared plus 7. So what we're going to be doing here, if we're following BIDMAS, is the 2 squared first. So when we're looking at a power of something, so indices, if it's squared, it means we're just timesing it by itself. So when you're doing areas and you've got pi r squared, if something is squared, you're timesing it by itself. So to the power of 2. So here, 2 squared. If it was to the power of 3, you'd do that again. If it's to the power of 4, you'd multiply it again. If it's to the power of 5, you'd do it again, and so on and so on. So when we're saying the power of 5, that would be if that little 2 it's floating in the air would be a 5, then it would look like that, but it's not. We're doing squared. So we're just doing 2 times 2. So 2 times 2 is 4. So within that calculation, we could actually rewrite that and replace the 2 squared with the number 4. So I'm just going to put that there. And let's get rid of the 2 squared. So we've done that bit. So the next bit within our brackets is the multiplication, if we're following BIDMAS. So it would be 6 times 4, so 6 4s are 24, and then we're going to plus 7, so 24 plus 7 is 31. So the value of those brackets is 31. So all we've got left is to plus the 5 as our final part. So the answer to that question is 36. So as you can see, we did the indices, went to the brackets first. First thing within the brackets was the indices, which came out as 4. And then we did 6 times 4 plus the 7, gave us 31. So the value of those brackets was 31, and then we just added 5. And that gives us the answer of 36. So as long as you're following these orders of operations, so brackets, indices, division, multiplication, and then addition and subtraction, you can't go wrong. We've got some practice questions we're going to go through. Do feel free to pause these as we go and have a go at them yourself. But this first particular question I'll kind of run through just to give you another sort of demonstration. But we've got 3 plus 16 times 2. So remember, if we're following BIDMAS, here we've got an addition and a multiplication. Remember, we do the multiplication first if we're looking at BIDMAS. So 16 times 2 is 32. So that calculation there, the next one we're doing is the addition. So it's 3 plus 32, and that gives us our answer of 35. Following on from that, we have 16 times 2 plus 3. So 16 times 2 plus 3. First thing we need to do is the brackets. So the 2 plus the 3 is 5. So then that calculation becomes 16 times 5, and that gives you 80 as an answer. So just to clarify, the reason why we did the plus first is because the plus in is within the brackets. Plus in, that's the technical term, the addition. So yeah, it's because your addition's within the brackets. So your brackets is the first thing you do. So whatever's in your brackets you calculate first, following BIDMAS, and then it's the final bit there, which was that multiplication. Okay, have a go at this one on your own. Do feel free to pause, and then I'll go through the answer. Okay, so we've got 3 times 2 plus 8 divided by 4. So we're going to be following BIDMAS. Now remember I said that you can do your multiplications and divisions in whichever order they appear in your calculation. So we can do 3 times 2 is 6. 8 divided by 4 is 2. Add those together, and you've got an answer of 8. So well done if you got that one right. And then the final question we've got here is 3 plus 42 divided by 7. Have a go at this one. Okay, so looking at the working out of this one, we're going to be doing the division first. So 42 divided by 7 is 6. And then finally 3 plus 6 is 9. So if you got 9 as an answer for that question, huge well done. Now we're going to have a look at these next ones, true or false. So do feel free to work these ones out, and we'll decide whether these ones are true or false. So have a go at this question, pause the video. Is the answer 6? Okay, if you said true, well done. We're looking at 12 divided by 4 is 3, and then 3 plus 3 is 6. So that one is true, absolutely. Have a go at this next one. 12 divided by 3 plus 3 equals 2. True or false? That one's false, absolutely. 7. So 12 divided by 3 is 4. 4 plus 3 is 7. Okay, now we've got one more to do. Maybe it's a little bit trickier than the other ones because we do have an indices in there. So 4 plus 2 times 4 squared is 96. True or false? Okay, that one is false as well. So the answer to that one should be 36. So 4 times 4 for 4 squared. So we're looking at the indices first. 4 4s are 16. Then we're going to do multiplication. So 2 times 16 is 32. And then finally the addition at the start of the calculation there, which is 4 plus. So 4 plus 32 is 36. Okay, so hopefully you're feeling a bit more comfortable and confident with your understanding of BIDMAS and orders of operations. So you should be able to apply this method to any formulas that you might come up against, which could be formulas for area. So if you're working out the area of rectangles and circles, it could be used for volume. So for example, the volume of a triangular prism. It could even be for this extremely scary formula, which is the surface area of a cylinder, compound measures, and finally, Pythagoras theorem, which everybody hated at school, but you'll be thankful to know that we don't do this in functional skills. But that's it for this video. Do click on the video that's on screen now, which will be the formulas, and that will teach you how to apply BIDMAS to formulas. Cheers, I'll see you in the next one.